All right, let's dive in. Today, we're digging into a commentary on the Quran. To get beyond just the what of its message, we're going to explore the why. Why was this message sent? Who was chosen to actually deliver it? And what does it really ask of the people who receive it?
So let's kick things off with a pretty big question. For any message, any idea, to really last through centuries and across all kinds of cultures, what does it need? What qualities does it have to have? This is the central idea we're going to unpack together.
Okay, so first things first. To really understand the message, we have to understand the world it came into. And the source material we're looking at, it paints this vivid picture of a world that was just in desperate need of a restart. I mean, just let that phrase sink in for a second. On the verge of chaos. The old ways, the old empires, they just weren't working anymore. The source describes it like civilization was this gigantic tree that had completely rotted to the core, and its branches were totally barren. It was a world that had lost its way, and that really set the stage for something new.
And this right here, man, this just perfectly sums up the spiritual problem. It's not that there was no guidance before. The real issue, as this verse so powerfully points out, was that people were carrying the scriptures, physically, but they'd lost the spirit of it all. They had the books, but the message wasn't changing them inside.
So if the new message was going to be this living, breathing thing, not just more words in a book, then the person delivering it had to be, well, extraordinary. And that brings us to our second point, the character of the messenger himself.
Now, this isn't just praise from a follower or a historian. The source text we're drawing from really hammers this home. This is a direct testimony from God. It's actually described as the greatest testimony possible because it's the Creator talking about His creation, confirming the incredible moral and spiritual standing of the Prophet Muhammad.
And this is what I find so fascinating about how that sublime character is defined. It wasn't some kind of hidden secret power. No, according to the source, God wanted his life to be a total open book. His emotions, how he was with his family, how he led his community, everything was out in the open. And why? So the faith wouldn't just be some abstract idea, but a real practical example that all of us could see and learn from.
But, having a perfect messenger doesn't automatically mean you have a perfect community overnight. The divine message had to deal with real human beings, with all our flaws and all the things that distract us. So try to picture this scene that this source lays out for us. It's the Friday prayer in Medina. This is the spiritual peak of the week, right? And the prophet himself is up there, speaking to the people.
And then, right in the middle of it all, there's an interruption. A trade caravan shows up. And back then, this was a huge deal, a major commercial event, complete with music and all the excitement that comes with it. It's basically the pull of the material world right there.
And in that split second, the immediate, tangible appeal of that caravan was just too much for some of them. They literally get up and walk out, leaving the prophet standing there mid-sermon. It's such a raw human moment, and it just perfectly captures that timeless struggle between our spiritual goals and worldly distractions.
And this is where the divine response comes in, and it's absolutely crucial. This verse wasn't just a slap on the wrist. It was a fundamental course correction. It laid down a principle for that community and for every generation since. What you have with God is always, always better than any temporary gain or pleasure this world can offer.
So the Quran doesn't just show you the path of guidance, it also paints a really, really clear picture of what the opposition to that path looks like.
Our source explains this incredible analogy from the Quran. It basically asks you, hey, who's doing better? The person walking tall and confident on a straight, clear road, or the person crawling on their face, completely lost and stumbling all over the place? It's a rhetorical question, obviously, but it creates such a powerful mental image contrasting the clarity you get with faith versus the confusion without it.
And it gets even more specific than just an analogy. The text gives us a detailed breakdown of the character of those who actively fight against the message. And this isn't about some intellectual debate. It's a moral profile. Notice how these are all behaviors that just destroy a community. From someone who swears constantly out of their own insecurity to someone who actively tries to stop good from happening.
And all of this leads us to our final point, which is maybe the most important one of all. This message, and the responsibility that comes with it, was never meant for just one group of people in one specific time. It was always meant to be a trust for all time.
This is such a key verse, and our source really highlights it. When the prophet's companions asked who these others were, he made it clear the message was for everyone, for all time. It shows that the community of believers is meant to be this continuous chain, stretching across the globe and through the centuries, all connected by this one faith.
And this is where the perspective really shifts, you know? Carrying this legacy forward isn't supposed to feel like some heavy burden. Instead, the source encourages us to see it as a profound honor, that being chosen to receive this guidance, to understand it, and to live by it is actually a huge favor from God.
So we end up right back where we started, with a question. The message was delivered by a messenger with a sublime character to a community that was given a trust for the future. And that trust, it extends all the way to us, here, today. Which leaves us all to think about it. In our own lives, what does it really mean to be worthy of a great trust like that?